Ojokela dalani katudisimo kangato kangato. Ojokela dalani katudisimo kangato kangato. Ojokela dalani katudisimo kangato. Ojokela dalani kabao yuma
National Irrigation Board was established through an Act of Parliament Cap 347 in 1966 with the main objective of developing irrigation in potential areas. The Western Kenya schemes comprise of 3 schemes within the Lake Basin region, that is Ahero, West Kano and Bunyala. Ahero and Bunyala irrigation schemes were started in 1966 and became operational in 1969.
In 1969, the people who were given the land were the 519 farmers. During that time, we were called tenants. But the remaining ones were listed in a certain list to wait. If those people were defeated to work, others will have to take over.
West Kano, on the other hand, was started in 1974 and became operational in 1976. Due to the ongoing expansion, other schemes are being developed to add to the existing 3.
We have also since expanded in Western Kenya to Lower Kuja, where currently work is advanced stage of being implemented. And there we are targeting 3,000 acres to be put under crop gravity scheme. Lower CEO construction is ongoing, and hopefully before the end of the year we will commission that scheme.
The Ahero irrigation scheme is 4,000 acres and is located in Muhoroni sub-county, Kisumu County. Currently, it serves over 1,650 farmers with over 20,000 direct beneficiaries.
Most of the infrastructure had not been replaced ever since they were constructed in the 1960s. So it started actually affecting the performance of this scheme. And since the farmers also never had much say, then it resulted in the stagnation of most of this irrigation scheme. So by 1998, most of these schemes were actually underperforming, and some had even stopped operation.
Kulingana na wakati ambapo scheme ilianguka, hatukukuwa na njia rahisi ya kupata matumishi ya nyumbani, hata kuelimisha watoto haikukuwa rahisi.
So the problem I saw with my eyes was sana youths were not able to go to school. Jobs were not there. The youths which were there by that time, most of them was left aside, and they got into bad relationship with those people because they didn't have finance. So the act of stealing was created, and everybody was not safe in life.
Mambo ya fees haikuwa rahisi kwa watoto. Hata chakula cha nyumbani ilikuwa kazi ngumu sana kupata.
In 2005, the government of Kenya, in partnership with the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations (FAO), started the revival of these schemes by purchasing and installing new irrigation pumps.
Because irrigation was seen as a key to food security in this country. And irrigation could not be enhanced without, first of all, reviving the stalled irrigation schemes. So in partnership with Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, the government bought some new pumps, and they were installed in all our 3 schemes. And so the operation started from 2005 onwards.
With the new pumps running, FAO and the government of Kenya, through the economic stimulus package, provided input support, which has since been converted into a revolving fund. This fund is currently meeting most of the farmers' production requirements.
And that worked very well. By the year 2007, something good was being seen. And then by the year 2008, 2009, the government injected some additional funds through the economic stimulus program. And this fund has been able to be turned into a revolving fund that has managed to run the scheme up to date.
It is the revolving fund which provides the fund for all the cost of the farmers, from input to O&M payment. And it is the group which manages that fund, because we have formed the group which manages the fund at the local level or at the ground level. The final level, we have got the management committee who prepares the scheme calendar. They meet with all group chairmen, and the OWA draws up the program for the year. There we discuss, and after we have agreed on the program, it is now the revolving fund to provide the funds for the operation.
The second scheme in Western Kenya is West Kano Irrigation Scheme. This scheme is in Kisumu East Sub-County, Kisumu County. The scheme was started in 1974. Currently, it has over 1,200 farmers with over 20,000 direct beneficiaries.
They were growing two types of crops. It was sugarcane and rice. But as time has gone, we have gone full on rice production. The scheme has a total of 2,230 acres. And for this year, we have put 1,500 other rice. Our method of water abstraction is through pumping. We have inlet pumps where we pump from a lagoon to the main canal. Then we have outlet pump that we pump back the drainage water back to the lake.
The third one in this region is Bunyala Irrigation Scheme with over 2,000 acres. This scheme is located in Bunyala Sub-County of Busia County. The scheme, which started in 1964, currently serves over 1,200 farmers with over 15,000 direct beneficiaries.
So it has been operational all this time, with the main activity being rice production here within this region. So it faced a challenge way back, and it is one of the schemes that collapsed. But it was revived in 2005 through a grant from FAO that gave farmers inputs. It was supplemented through the economic stimulus program, which was one of the government programs for ensuring food security. So this has seen the scheme move forward in terms of production after it was stalled.
Hata skimu hii, kwa sababu ya hiyo kuwa hapa, tumepeleka watoto zaidi naweza sema zaidi wa 200 university kupitia kwa hii scheme. So hii scheme naweza sema ni ya manufaa kwa watu wa hapa sana.
The Western Kenya schemes have other subsidiaries. These include Ahero Research Station, which is being revived. The research station will cover the Western Kenya region in irrigation agriculture research. We are currently building a collaboration and partnership with other stakeholders for better service provision.
Normally we import germplasm of irrigated crops from other countries, like the International Rice Research Institute in the Philippines. And when the germplasm comes to the country and it is released by CAFES, we have been given an open quarantine where we screen that material and then evaluate it for disease resistance, which is found to be suitable, is then released to the farmers for commercial production. And that is how most of the commercial varieties which are being grown in our rice schemes today, like IR 2793, BNW 196, ETA 310, and others came into this country through that germplasm introduction.
Within Ahero, we have the Western Kenya Rice Mill. The mill was started in 1991. It is owned jointly by the National Irrigation Board at 60% of the shares and farmers at 40%.
We have it located at Ahero. The farmers have shares there. The government also have shares. It was jointly owned by the farmers and the NIB.
With a capacity of 3.5 metric tons per hour, West Kenya Rice Mill mills and markets white rice and its byproducts. National Irrigation Board was in full control of all production, milling and marketing until 1980s and 1990s when the structural adjustment programs were introduced. Farmers were least involved in the management of the scheme and only wanted their bonuses after harvest. There was need, therefore, to involve farmers in the management of the scheme, and hence the introduction of participatory irrigation management concept, which was then introduced.
And there was need that farmers should play a key role in the management of the irrigation schemes. So then we started what we call participatory irrigation management, whereby National Irrigation Board was to cede some roles to the farmers, and then there's kind of co-management of the irrigation schemes.
Because there was a hurry to implement the participatory irrigation management, the farmers were not properly positioned to run the schemes, especially with aging infrastructure that reduced the scheme's efficiency, as well as the introduction of cereals liberation, which resulted in lack of market for the farm produce or paddy.
Tulifuna mzuri. Mchele tulitoa kwa samba mzuri, lakini tukikuja huku kwa store, hakuna pahali inaenda. Hakuna bei. Sasa ni kama tumekwama na mchele, hakuna mahali inaenda, hakuna faida.
The type of irrigation practiced here is flood or basin irrigation. The water is conveyed through earthen canals.
So we do flood the field, and it takes about 7 days before it's rotavated. The advantage of flooding is that it softens the soil and it also kills the weed, and then rotation takes place. So when the rotation is going on, the farmer should have been able to procure their own inputs, which is procured by the relevant committees. In Ahero, for example, is a revolving fund. Western also is a revolving fund. Punyala, it is cooperative.
What are the roles of the National Irrigation Board and the farmers?
You know, initially NIB was giving us everything, up to the thread we are using when harvesting. So when they came up with the new plan, that is cost sharing, they told us, we are going to give you ABCD, farmers will be providing this.
Marketing is an issue that farmers deal themselves on, and our role as National Irrigation Board is only to link them to the prospective buyers.
National Irrigation Board maintains major infrastructure, that is the canals and drains, while farmers maintain infield infrastructure.
Due to the high silt load of the river, we have to do regular maintenance of the canal, that is through desilting, in order to ensure water efficiency, water gets to the farms on time, and most of it is not lost through seepages.
But of course, before any operation goes on, the funds must be available. So despite the challenges that the farmers are facing, we do insist that there should be upfront payment before the operations in the field are given by us. And where do the farmers get this fund? They do get the fund for the operation from their revolving fund.
The market for the paddy is a free market. Farmers look for their own market, and the National Irrigation Board only helps to link them together.
So, we recently asked the GM to try and source some funds, put it at the rice mills, so that rice mills can do a meaningful business for the farmer anyway. That is, we have a place where we sell promptly at an agreed price. And then that paddy rice can, of course, be given value addition, where we can add value and get profits when the machine or the mills is doing a good job and a busy job. Definitely the profits will be higher. And these profits will somehow definitely accrue back to the farmer in the form of dividends.
Running such irrigation schemes definitely has challenges.
Mashamba ya huku, shida ambayo iko nayo, kuna zile ambao iko na high spots. Sehemu zingine siku juu, sehemu zingine siku chini. Sasa hizo nayo, kama tungeweza kufanya leveling ya mashamba, ili maji ikiingia kwa shamba, haiwezi kapotea bure bure, hapo itaweza leta mazao mazuri.
Long time ago when I was married here, I found when the NIB was doing everything for farmers. But now it has come where farmers are the ones to control their farms. They have their own groups leaders, and the problems is in the group leaders. We are not well trained.
Some of the challenge we have at the pump station is due to the high silt load. We have frequent breakage or frequent problems with the pump. This has been addressed through, we have regular maintenance through contracted pump maintenance.
We also have issues of vandalism in the scheme, where our infrastructures like gates, check gates, are vandalized for scrap metals.
Cows were not allowed to graze within the scheme because they are causing a lot of damage to our infrastructure. And it is the docket of water users to make sure we prevent those cows from entering the scheme. Though it is a challenge, it is something which has given us a lot of problems with the wananchi, even with the government. You can remember there were some times when the DC came here, and DC told us to sit, farmers and the leaders, and come up with an amicable solution on how to solve that problem. Because even these farmers, even these cows, they are for farmers which are within the scheme.
Hii scheme unajua inatumia stima. Maana hiyo ndio inaleta maji ambayo tunatumia. Wakati mwingine stima inakoza, sasa hiyo huwa ni shida sana kwa mpunga. Mpunga ikishaanza inatumia maji mpaka ifike wakati ambao inakuwa. Sasa wakati stima imepotea, hali ya mpunga pia inarudi chini.
As a result of this experience, most of the upcoming schemes that are under design and under construction have prioritized gravity-fed system so that the operational cost for running the scheme will be minimized.
What is the National Irrigation Board doing to overcome the challenges?
Now, for example, if you have with the revolving fund, they give a certain number of representatives. The UA, they give a certain number of representatives. The cooperative give a certain number of representatives, so that within our schemes we have with an average of between 12 and 17 members per scheme that form the scheme management. And this scheme management becomes now the key decision-making organ in the scheme. And it works hand in hand with the National Irrigation Board. And we have found this to be very good because it has helped us really to contain some of the small issues that the farmers themselves are able to resolve on their own.
AIC
Watch more agricultural documentaries at www.youtube.com/AIRC video unit.
Find us on www.nib.or.ke, on Twitter or on Facebook, and also on YouTube at www.nationalirrigationboard.youtube.com.